Hi moms and dads, I just thought that I would put together a little video that will help you to have some background information in order to teach your children the passage on Sunday. So it would be great if you could spend some time this week reading the verses in John's Gospel, and then also just listening to this video with notes on the verses, and then just going back over the chapter with these notes in mind, so that on Sunday when you teach your children, as you read through the passage, I'm going to send you another slideshow, but then as you read through the passage together, you can also just throw out a few questions to make sure that your children are understanding what is going on in the passage. So this remarkable episode highlights three important truths about Jesus' mission. So first of all, that he is the servant king who knows that he is about to die. Secondly, his death is all part of God the Father's plan. And thirdly, he is in control of the events surrounding his death. You can look at chapter 13, verse 3 for that. So the foot washing is a humble act which points forward to the cleansing work of the cross. And it is also an example of how Jesus' followers must serve one another in menial acts of kindness. So let's look at the passage. Verse 1. So this verse sets the scene, and it links the act of foot washing to the Passover, as well as his death on the cross. Jesus knew that he was about to die. Then verses 4 to 5, a slave would have worn a loincloth and wrapped a long strip of material around his waist, using the end as a towel. Foot washing was a slave's job, not the job of a teacher or a rabbi. Then in verse 6, Peter feels that he is not worthy to have Jesus serve him in this way. He still does not understand what Jesus has come to do. In verse 7, Jesus is referring to the time after the resurrection when he talks about later. Then verse 8, Peter only sees Jesus washing feet, but Jesus explains that it's a picture of the cross. We need to allow Jesus to wash us by his death. And it is entrusting in his death in our place that cleanses us, making us belong to him. Verse 9, notice how Peter's attitude suddenly changes and how extravagant he is. He says, wash all of me. And this is so typical of Peter. And it shows that he still doesn't understand. Then verse 10, once we belong to Jesus, we are clean in God's sight. The whole body is washed. But our sins, like dirty feet, or it's needing to be clean, must be, or needing to be cleaned frequently, must be forgiven every day. So that forgiveness is possible because of the original cleansing. There is no need for a new cleansing. Verse 11, John underlines that Jesus knew that Judas would betray him. And then verse 12 to 17, Jesus asks his followers to behave in a way that will be despised by the world as weakness. Following Jesus' example will mean that even our godly behavior is despised by others. Here are just three points for you to reflect on the passage for yourself, and perhaps you would like to get your children on Sunday also to reflect on them as you work through the passage together. So firstly, we've had our feet washed by Jesus. So how and what does this prompt you to pray? Secondly, what is your instinctive response to Jesus telling you to wash the feet of others? Why do you feel like that? And then thirdly, why would Jesus want Christians to do this?